Just like a computer is useless without a software program to run it, life itself would be impossible without a way to store, retrieve, and pass on information. It is the ability to link other information to our blood group genes that makes the genetic expression of ABO blood group as important as its physical existence. Just like a computer hard drive, we store our genetic memory on long strands of DNA. These strands of DNA are organized into bits of data called genes, which are located on specific areas of even larger chunks of data called chromosomes. Chromosomes are pretty standardized within a species, but genes often have variations called alleles. The gene for ABO blood group is on chromosome number 9 in a dense band towards the bottom. The genetics of ABO are fairly simple. Group AB is the simplest. They have both the A and B allele. Group O is the opposite. It can only be produced by having two O alleles. Both the A and B allele are dominant to O, so an A and O allele will still make you group A. Here is a B with two identical B alleles. In this case, you could only pass on B alleles to your children. The gene for blood group can be found on different chromosomes in different species. Yet man is the only species that has all four ABO variations. In humans, the area containing the ABO gene is quite densely packed, which is odd considering it only codes for 3 enzymes. Why? Genes that are close to each other tend to transfer together. This phenomenon is called gene linkage and explains why so many physiological traits are linked to the ABO gene. Here we see the gene for ABO, and in a separate graphic the gene for DBH, an enzyme that converts dopamine to adrenaline. They are so close together that the program wrote their names over each other. The dopamine link to blood group appears to occur at the O allele, since there are several studies linking blood group O with disorders caused by dopamine difficulties. These include manic depression and many types of anxiety. DBH converts dopamine to adrenaline. Too little dopamine and we become depressed. Adrenaline tends to make us anxious. Excess DBH means too little dopamine and too much adrenaline. With group A, the elevated stress hormone appears to be cortisol, a hormone made by the adrenal glands. High levels of cortisol can depress immune function, disturb sleep, and alter our thought processes. Several studies have shown that group A individuals have higher spikes in their cortisol levels after stress, and it takes longer for the cortisol levels to drop back down to normal in this group as well. If we look at the structure of cortisol, we see a similarity to another chemical known to be elevated in blood group A, cholesterol. This illustrates the importance for blood group A individuals to get their stress levels under control. If they don't, the effects of excess cortisol can seriously impair their immune and cardiovascular systems. It has been known since the 1960s that blood group A is associated with a higher incidence of heart and artery disease, yet most physicians are still unaware of this. Other studies have repeatedly shown higher levels of the von Willebrand blood clotting factor in blood group A, which supports studies showing that type A individuals tend to have thicker blood when under stress. Other digestive functions appear linked to blood group on a genetic level as well. This includes higher levels of a fat and cholesterol digesting enzyme, which is elevated in blood group O. Also in blood group O, higher and longer lasting levels of a protein digesting enzyme called pepsin and continuous and higher levels of stomach acid production have been documented. Many cancers appear to be linked to blood type, including a very ancient association between blood type A and stomach cancer. This may be in part the result of this blood type having lower than average levels of stomach acid, a recognized risk factor for stomach cancer. There's also a possible link to some aspects of breast cancer with group A. This may be the result of lower levels of surveillance antibodies, which are supposed to find and destroy cancer cells at the earliest moment of mutation. Many cancers are A-like, which puts group A at a bit of a disadvantage. Understanding this link may lead to better preventive measures such as vaccines and therapies. The Human Genome Project will undoubtedly find more functions linked to ABO because it is such a convenient place to code a little bit of individuality into our software.